Thanks, Arlen. Arlen was one of my very first followers on Twitter. Now, looking back, I was initially more impressed when Karl Rove returned the favor and followed me. However, that was short-lived. I don't think Karl ever read any of my tweets. Now, I thought it was really neat how Arlen always found the time to respond to my tweets. About a month ago, Sarah Schaefer, aka AgWeb Sarah, contacted me through YouTube about using some of my harvest videos on AgWeb. Now let's hear from Sarah.
Hello to the Michigan Soybean Growers Association. My name is Sarah Schaefer and I'm the Business and Crop Online Editor for AgWeb.com. Jeff asked me to visit with you for a little bit about using YouTube. Here at Farm Journal Media, we have almost 500 videos of showcasing on the many aspects of agriculture. Every day on the homepage of AgWeb.com, you'll find a new video covering our many areas. You'll find machinery, markets, crop comments, anything you can imagine that would be interesting to a farmer, and some that are just for fun. YouTube is a great tool because it's a very quick, easy, and free tool to use for anyone. All of our editors take video cameras with them whenever they go cover stories. So in a few minutes they can capture video, zip it over to me, and before long we have it up on our website. We've realized that people would much rather see what's going on than just read about it. So I would encourage you all to use YouTube as a way to tell your story of agriculture. You'd be surprised about how many people will find it interesting. I wish you well with your meeting and thank you for letting me participate.
Now thanks, Sarah. Now as a farmer, I don't have time to sit behind this desk all day. Smartphones such as this are making access to social media sites possible virtually anywhere. Now check this out. Allendale Brokers puts out market updates on YouTube 3 times a day. Now here, listen to this.
Afternoon, everybody. Steve Georgia here, live from Allendale's trading floor. It is December 7th,
Hope you can see
2009.
this.
I'm here with your market recap for today. It was a very interesting day. Early in the markets.
Now, I can listen or watch this in the cab, whichever way. It's much easier than trying to read articles on a small screen.
January contract down below or right near that $74 a barrel area.
Now, next, I'd like to introduce Jason Brett, whom I met on Twitter.
Greetings from Kansas City, Missouri. I hope everyone's enjoying their time at the meeting after what I'm sure has been a trying and difficult 2009 harvest, or at least in our area it sure was. And what I want to take a sec is talk about is how I use Twitter. When I first joined Twitter, I purposely got on there and tried to follow all the farmers that I possibly could. And the reason for that, we have a lot of farm customers on our books, but I wanted to get maybe a little bit better feel of what was going on around the country. And whether it be in Nebraska or Iowa or Michigan or Missouri, and get more of a snapshot of things that were happening elsewhere instead of in our backyard. And I think we all have a tendency to be influenced by what's going on in our backyard. If we're hot and dry, everyone's hot and dry. Or if our crops look good, everyone's crops look good. And what Twitter allowed me to do is get real-time information from all the way around. And ways that we can use that information when, I remember this fall, when guys were taking pictures of their yield monitor and showing the moisture levels that were coming in or the yields that were coming in. And this gave us a snapshot view of what was actually taking place. I also remember in October when we experienced the frost that guys were taking pictures of their beans and showing damage. And that was information that when Dow Jones or Bloomberg or the Wall Street Journal would call me to want to know things, that I would put it out there and say, hey, there's real damage that's possibly taking place out here, and we need to put this out into the marketplace. And farmers can use that from their marketing perspective, that to get, not just a snapshot of what's going on in their backyard, but what's going on everywhere. It looks good here in Iowa, or it doesn't look good. And those are things that I think a person can use in these volatile times to help in their marketing. So look forward to 2010. I know it's going to be probably a volatile 2010, but maybe with the help of Twitter, we can make it a little more prosperous 2010. So thank you.
Thanks, Jason. Keep those daily market tweets coming. Now on YouTube, the only thing that is better than watching farm machinery run is watching it sell, especially when Greg Peterson, aka Machinery Pete, is bringing you the results.
Hey, Machinery Pete here. I want to say hi to Jeff and all my friends with the Michigan Soybean Growers Association. I hope you guys have a great year in 2010. You know, one thing I think we will see in 2010 for sure is the continued growth of social media. I've been covering farm machinery auctions now for over 20 years, and honestly, nothing's got me more excited than the emergence of these social media tools in the last year. So how do I use social media for our business at machinerypete.com? Well, first off is YouTube. Last August we created our own YouTube channel. It was very easy to set up, and now we go out and we film auctions all over the country. Today I'm at an auction here in north central Iowa filming machinery sell. Yesterday I was at an auction in eastern South Dakota. Last Saturday we got footage from a machinery sale in northern Ohio. And basically, it looks like what we're doing is kind of turning our machinerypete.com website into our own TV channel. Pretty cool. The other way I'm using social media right now is Twitter. For what I do, Twitter is actually perfect because I compile all this data on used farm machinery, and Twitter allows me to disseminate little nuggets of information that my audience will really value. So for example, yesterday I was at the auction in South Dakota, and there was a 2008 model CAT MT875B track tractor with only 10 hours on it. Now folks from all over the US, Canada, and even Europe were interested in what this tractor was going to sell for. So I'm standing there at the sale, I watch it sell, I send out a little Machinery Pete tweet, and everybody knows what it's worth. So I just can't wait to see in the next year what direction this social media stuff's going to go. Honestly, I think it has the potential to change everything, and to change it pretty fast. I'm Machinery Pete. See you at the sales.